Hundreds of thousands of dollars in brave contracts issued through the mayor's office. Some city officials are asking questions.
A result of the state's Restore Louisiana program, a homeowner ready to move back home after getting help rebuilding from the August flood.
Tropical storm Emily now a depression as it moves on from Florida, but it left behind power outages and flooding.
Nothing like that here. We're looking at pretty decent conditions right now, but I'll tell you how that'll change coming up in just a little bit.
How are the roadways looking this morning? Any accidents or breakdowns? I'll let you know straight ahead.
Now, from WBRZ News 2, this is Tune In.
It's 5 a.m. Good morning, South Louisiana. We're glad you could tune in on this Tuesday, August 1st. I'm John Pastorik.
Good morning. I'm Kylie Dixon along with Ashley and Robert, who's in for Josh. Good morning, both of you. August 1st, 75, about normal, right?
I know. We only have 40-something days left till fall, too, so I'm excited about that.
Only 40?
That's not going to change anything.
I don't remember the exact number, but yeah, it still seems like a lot. Let's go ahead and take a look at how about weather first? Weather right now, looking at actually some pretty decent conditions. We're looking at no rain across the area, under, well, just a few clouds. Overall, expecting a pretty decent day. But things will change here. Today, we've been looking at some pretty decent weather. Look what's coming up. We do have a big trough coming in across the area. Trough looking like this big dip, if you will, in these colors. These cooler colors indicate cooler temperatures, the green and the yellow. So we see this big dip coming. We're going to see cooler temperatures from the north come this way. So not as hot over the first couple weeks of August. In fact, as we start the first week of August, you'll see that the temperatures will likely only reach the upper 80s, but that's because of some showers. It will be a little bit stormy here, but not yet, not today. 70 degrees is the current temperature in Greensburg under clear skies and calm winds. And again, not much showing up on radar and just a few clouds on satellite. As we move the futurecast into the afternoon, you can see not a lot developing here besides a few clouds. That's possible, but not expecting any rain throughout the day. So expect another dry day today. Temperatures just barely getting up to 90 degrees, feeling more like 94 though once we hit the afternoon thanks to that extra humidity, but expect a mix of sunshine throughout the forecast. And through the rest of the state, you can expect a little bit of rain, possibly up further north, but only about 20% of the area seeing a few showers. So overall, definitely some clouds, but we'll see some sunshine today. No rain across the state of Louisiana. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast at about 20. We'll look at some other stuff, including the tropics, in about 10. But right now, let's jump over to traffic with Ashley.
Thank you, Robert. 5:02, and traffic right now is very quiet. It's a welcome change from yesterday morning when we saw several problem spots right when we woke up. But right now we're seeing no major issues out there. So we're looking clear on I-12. Drive times are normal in this area traveling towards Baton Rouge. Just about 10 minutes range to the 10-12 split and 6 minutes Walker to range. Again, these are your baseline drive times. Let's go ahead and take a look outside and check the bridge and other areas. And right now looks good at the LA1 exit ramp. There is a heavier volume in this area, probably other than any other area in our viewing area, but right now we're seeing no major problems crossing over the river. Sorry, that was a lot of areas. But checking out I-10, we're seeing no major problems as you're traveling towards downtown Baton Rouge, and this is going to be as you approach Essen, approaching 10-12 split, no major problem spots. So we'll check a live look of Livingston in about 10 minutes. For now, it's back to news.
Thank you, Ashley. From the investigative unit, questions from city leaders to the state auditor about contracts issued by the mayor's office.
Yeah, and those contracts deal with the Brave Crime Fighting Task Force, but some of the program's leaders didn't even know about them.
It appears to me that it's, kind of political favors being given out to supporters of the mayor's office.
Well, Metro Councilman Buddy Amoroso says the mayor's office gave out almost 30 professional service contracts worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now they're questioning those deals.
I will be putting an item upon the agenda at the next council meeting to ask the mayor to give an explanation of why these contracts were, given, and I will, and also, today we will start writing a letter to the legislative auditor and ask him to, audit the Brave program.
So we're concerned at this point, and right now, mainly I have not seen contracts. I do not know what the contracts were for, what they were going to do, how was data going to be collected to ensure that the work was being done.
Well, the mayor's office released a statement saying a report is being prepared related to the Brave contracts, and an update will be provided by next Monday. Happening today, more than 200 new state laws now in effect. Among those new regulations, traffic cameras that catch those speeding drivers. 2 News' Michael Vincento is live this morning with more. Hey, Michael, good morning. So what's changing with these new laws hitting the books?
Well, JB, I can tell you, people who drive in this area of College Drive and I-10, it's a known fact that passing around and seeing those cameras, drivers have to be very cautious as they come through this area. It's a known fact again, but that's just one of 200 new laws restricting them, where the law actually says that if cities and towns are going to use the images that were taken from those cameras, that in order for them to use them as evidence, they have to post signs notifying drivers that the cameras are there. Now, again, that's just one of nearly or more than 200 state laws that will take effect here today. A few other ones include public school students, and they now will be allowed to bring sunscreen to school without a doctor's note, and free parking will be required for disabled veterans at all airports. Again, just a few of hundreds of laws that will take effect. We provided information on a few more of those laws on our website, WBRZ.com. Back to you.
Thank you, Michael Vincento reporting. It appears there's progress through the state's newest flood program to help flood victims get back into their homes. So far, the state has repaired 28 homes through the Restore Louisiana, including Lily Gumb's Parkview home. The governor and his wife getting a tour of her renovated home completed through the pilot program. State officials now hoping to help some 36,000 homeowners when it's all done, touting the speed of the disaster program compared to others.
And you have to be patient and wait your turn. And it might seem like it's taken forever, but it didn't take forever. And I mean, just in about 3 weeks, my house has been completely turned around.
If you compare this disaster to others, whether in Louisiana or around the country, we are moving quickly when you compare the results.
The speed of disaster programs have been a hot topic since last year's flood. The governor blasted by a FEMA oversight committee over the handling of the flood. State officials say now that the pilot program has wrapped, more homes will get repairs in the coming weeks. Looking ahead this week, Restore LA to host afternoon outreach events in parishes affected by the flood. The first in Ascension Parish at the library in Gonzales, followed by East Baton Rouge tomorrow at the Baker Library, then Livingston Parish on Thursday at the Denham Walker Branch. All the sessions are from 3 to 7 p.m. And farmers dealing with the impact of the March and August floods can get some financial help through a grant. The Department of Agriculture is hosting an informational meeting this morning at 10 in New Roads at the library. Farmers will get information about the application process to get some of the recovery money.
In a follow-up, took more than 12 hours, but the power is finally back on for some residents in the Melrose East area of Baton Rouge. Early morning crash Monday took out a few power poles. No one was injured in the incident. Tragedy in the New Orleans area after a possible wheelchair malfunction. A wheelchair-bound man in West Wego was killed when fire officials say his electric chair caught fire, engulfing him. People rushed to the home after a woman came out screaming for help, but they just couldn't save the 60-year-old.
The little girl come out hollering for somebody to come help. Mr. Gary was on fire. She said, Gary's on fire in his chair. He's on fire. I run down to the house and went in there, and he was ablaze in the doorway.
The exact cause of the fire still under investigation this morning. The man was reportedly having trouble with the chair prior to that fire. On the crime beat, an area fire captain found dead in Colorado of an apparent suicide. But there's a twist to this case. Detectives were looking for Rudolph Schotz after his wife found him dead in a car at the home in Wilkinson County, Mississippi. Shortly after, officers issued an arrest warrant for him. Schotz's body was found. He served as a fire captain in Zachary and West Feliciana.
New this morning, one person transported to a local hospital in Baton Rouge, the victim of gun violence. Police were called to the 200 block of Louise Street near Highland around 10:30 last night. The victim is expected to survive. No word if police made an arrest or the motive behind the shooting. And that shooting comes on the heels of a violent weekend in the capital city. Police investigating 3 shootings and at least 1 stabbing, all deadly. Interim Police Chief Johnny Dunham released a statement regarding the crime, saying investigators are working diligently to arrest those responsible. He goes on to say an additional 20 officers will graduate from field training August 4th and immediately begin patrolling areas where violent crimes have increased.
Well, under arrest this morning, this man and woman, Floyd Host Jr., is accused of robbing a bank in Gonzales last week. He was tracked down in Lake Charles along with Katrina Griffin. Police say her arrest came after numerous social media posts that detail her activities since the robbery. In this one, she refers to herself and hosts as a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde.
Still to come on this Tuesday, a new week, a new shakeup at the White House. General John Kelly in, Anthony Scaramucci out. The details on the decision and what the rest of the week looks like for President Trump and his staff.
Plus, nutty news about a jail escape, how inmates used peanut butter to make a smooth getaway. You don't want to miss the details of this story out of Alabama. That's also coming up. But right now it is 5:10 on this Tuesday morning. 74 degrees outside. Don't go anywhere. Tune in. Just getting started.
Welcome back, everyone. Tropical Depression Emily now on the east side of Florida and making its cruise into, well, the Atlantic. Right now we're looking at, it's moving east-northeast around 12 miles per hour. About sustained winds around 30 miles per hour, just under tropical storm strength, and it will be moving into the central Atlantic away from the United States. Definitely not a worry for us across Louisiana. Temperatures this morning in the mid to lower 70s, pretty normal for this time of year. 74 in Baton Rouge, 76 up in Ellick, 73 in Monroe, and 75 in New Orleans. A little bit cooler up in Jackson. And one thing that's a little bit lower as well is the humidity. Now, it's still excessively humid all across the area, but you do see a lot more green across southern Mississippi. So dew points are still somewhat low up there thanks to a cold front that moved across the area over the weekend, but that cold front's going to retreat back to the north as a warm front, and that will bring us some showers throughout the rest of the week, and that will keep our temperatures a little bit lower than normal for the first couple weeks of August. Right now, cloud cover is at a minimum. You can see a few clouds moving across the Ozarks there up toward the north, but here in Baton Rouge, not looking at much cloud cover. Will be mostly sunny throughout the day, perhaps a few clouds a little bit later, and no rain showing up on land. You can see a couple little thunderstorms just off the coast of Cameron Parish, but other than that, we're looking pretty good this morning. Shouldn't mess up your commute. Now, as we are in the mid-70s right now, this afternoon we'll be in the 90s, right around 90 degrees with that mix of sunshine and clouds this afternoon. Again, no rain expected. If we do see rain, less than 10% of us will see anything. Overnight, getting back down to the mid to lower 70s, so just about where we are now, if not a degree or so cooler. And again, no rain expected tonight either. As we move into tomorrow, though, that's when we're going to see the rain pattern change. You can see the 3-day forecast showing mostly sunny today, a little bit more humidity tomorrow with some showers, and then rain chances really return into Thursday. Let's go ahead and take a look at traffic now.
Thank you, Robert. Well, at this time, we have no major accidents or breakdowns, so looking good there. We do have congestion, especially southbound on LA1. Right now, this area is pretty slow and go, mostly just over the Intercoastal Canal Bridge. Clears up once you get to about Addis. But the drive time is 18 minutes from Port Allen into Plaquemine. Once you get to Plaquemine, that ferry is in service. Let's take you outside, take a look around. Right now, over in Livingston, no problems. I-12 at Jubin, headed towards Range. Just a 2-minute drive between these two cameras. Once you get to Range, about 10 minutes to the 1012. Let's talk about the traffic. So here we have it. This is the Intercoastal Canal Bridge, as I was talking about, southbound on LA1. You can see commuters there pumping the brakes, as well as right here at the exit ramp on the bridge. This is all normal traffic. A lot of commuters just headed in the same direction. So much different than yesterday morning where we had several accidents out there. Right now, we're pretty quiet, aside from some just a little congestion here and there. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ashley. The Trump administration is down a man this morning. Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci resigned as Communications Director just 11 days after taking the White House post.
Well, this comes as new Chief of Staff is sworn in and new information about the president's son and his meeting with a Russian lawyer.
ABC's Kenneth Milton has all the details.
West Wing chaos. The Trump White House now dealing with the ousting of Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci.
I love the president.
The wealthy Wall Street financier known as the Mooch, lasting just 11 days. And they were rocky. Day one, bad blood between Scaramucci and now ex-Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. Then there was the profanity-laced tirade to a reporter, calling Priebus an expletive paranoid schizophrenic.
The president certainly felt that Anthony's comments were inappropriate for a person in that position.
President Trump, no stranger to colorful language himself, hoping to turn the page with this new Chief of Staff, former Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly.
I predict that General Kelly will go down in terms of the position of Chief of Staff, one of the great ever.
Kelly's next crisis may be a new revelation regarding Don Jr.'s meeting with a Russian lawyer during the 2016 campaign. First reported by the Washington Post, confirmed by ABC News, sources say President Trump personally dictated a misleading statement his son gave in response to the meeting, something the Trump team denied last month.
The president didn't sign off on anything. He was coming back from the G20. The president wasn't involved in that.
Don Jr.'s original statement said the meeting was not a campaign issue at the time. We now know the president's son took the sit down because he thought he would receive damaging information about Hillary Clinton. Don Jr.'s attorney had no comment on this new report, but the president's legal team says it's not true and misinformed. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
New developments about the congressional baseball practice shooting that injured Congressman Steve Scalise. A new report says Capitol Police were initially directed to the wrong location. According to Bloomberg Politics, officers were directed to Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi's house instead of the baseball field. The shooting is still under investigation. The president honored 5 of the responding officers with Medal of Valor last week.
The search continues this morning in Alabama for the final inmate on the run after a jailbreak on Sunday. 12 inmates broke out of the Walker County Jail northwest of Birmingham. Authorities say they used peanut butter to change numbers above a door, tricking a new employee into thinking he was opening a cell. The jail has a history of security issues.
All right, Game of Thrones, now Game of Hacked.
Yeah, HBO's hugely popular show is the latest victim of a cybercrime. ABC's Candace and Diane have all the details. This morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, HBO is facing a major cyber attack.
Hackers bragged about stealing HBO programming, including written material from the upcoming episode of Game of Thrones.
They say they've also posted full episodes of other shows, and they're threatening to release more.
The Zenbo home robot is coming to America.
It does a little bit of everything, from entertaining the kids to helping the elderly and controlling home appliances. Price tag, $600.
Better do laundry for that price as well. An Irishman has created a stationary bike hack that feeds your Netflix habit.
PsychFlix doesn't allow Netflix to play unless your legs are moving. The bike isn't for sale, but you can watch Kenny Schmidt's Instructables video to learn how to make one.
Fair warning, unless you're a tech geek, don't bother.
So not the easiest of instructions.
Exactly, so keep on riding.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a good day.
Welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Robert Gautreaux here. Sun and clouds again today. Quite seasonable for this time of year and dry as well. And then that Benedict Arnold front betrays us as it brought us beautiful weather this weekend. Comes back to the north as a warm front, and that brings with it higher humidity and higher rain chances. But the good news out of that is it will keep us somewhat cool thanks to the rain. We may not even hit the 90s. Now, as we look at the humidity across the area, starting to see that humidity kind of creep into Louisiana. Excessive humidity all the way up toward Arkansas. The rest of the southeast a little bit sticky, but it feels a little bit more here like it did this weekend from Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and even parts of Texas. But overall, it's a little bit drier than normal across the southeast, and you can see temperatures across the rest of the southeast already as high as 80 in Dallas right now, 74 in Baton Rouge, 68 in Jackson, and then down toward Florida. They are in the mid to upper 70s, so just a little bit warmer than we are this morning. So here's that front. It's stationary off the coast. It will begin to move back toward the north as a warm front. Until then, area of high pressure just toward our northeast, bringing in still some slightly cooler and drier air across the deep south. But as we head into the next couple days, again, that warm front will move up toward the north. As far as dry air, looking at a little bit of dry air across our area, but it's mainly across Florida where Emily is really fighting that. She doesn't stand a chance against that dry air. So that's good for people off the coast of Florida. As we move into Louisiana, you can see mostly clear skies with really just a few showers off the coast, and that's likely what we're going to see most of the day. Maybe an increase in clouds later by the afternoon, but not expecting really any rain today. That does change tomorrow, however. You see by tomorrow afternoon, you can see a couple isolated showers and thunderstorms. Not everyone will see rain. The rain will likely remain south of Baton Rouge, so Baton Rouge down toward the coast. Now, as we move into Thursday afternoon, however, that's when, there it is. There's our guy. Yeah, he's going to move up, bringing us scattered showers and thunderstorms, and so it'll be a little bit more wet on Thursday than it has been the last couple days. So keep that in mind as we head into Thursday. Not expecting as much rain Friday and Saturday, but we do expect some scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head through the weekend, and then even into next week. A couple isolated showers possible. Because of all this rain, looks like we'll at least stay out of the 90s, lows in the mid-70s, which is pretty normal for this time of year. And that's the way it's looking. So enjoy today while it's dry. It's going to be wet from here on out. You might need your umbrella. Now, Ashley, the ghost traffic this morning was terrible. So hopefully that has died down. I'd hit every red light and waiting for 0 cars. So how's the living traffic?
Well, right now we do have cars on the roadways. It's going to be crossing over the river westbound, of course, as we're seeing a lot of commuters headed from Baton Rouge towards Port Allen. So right now we do have yellows on the map. Just seconds ago went from red to yellow. So some congestion there. You're going to hit a pocket of slow and go as you're driving here along LA1 southbound as well. Those are our 2 areas with some slow traffic. You can see right now that yellow extends to about Addis on LA1 southbound. Checking out I-10 through Baton Rouge, quiet and clear, 4 minutes from the 1012 up towards the I-10 110. This morning, your Plaquemine Ferry is in service, and you can find that info and much more on my Twitter at WBRZ Traffic. Let's take a peek outside, and again, just reiterating what I said, there is that slowdown right here at the LA1 exit ramp. You could see that this morning, and southbound over the Intercoastal. No problems coming in from Denham Springs, and the other side of the bridge shows the backups are really isolated to just the top of the bridge. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ashley. The state's pilot program to get flood victims back into their homes is seeing results.
Yeah, Lily Gum is one of only 28 homeowners whose home was repaired through the state's Restore Louisiana program. Well, Governor John Bel Edwards and his wife Donna got a chance to visit Gum's renovated home.
State officials are now hoping to help some 36,000 homeowners when it's all done, saying the speed of the disaster program has been faster compared to others. All right, coming up, we have LSU football.
Yeah, and Southern football. And they've got a new 21 on the Bluff.
Oh, all right. Looking forward to that. 527. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching Tune In on WBRZ.
Good morning, and thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday, August 1st. I'm Kylie Dixon.
Good morning. I'm John Panstrag, and our top story, contract concerns in Baton Rouge. Metro Councilman Buddy Amoroso found the mayor's office has given out almost 30 professional service contracts since she took office. Contracts deal with the Brave crime-fighting task force, but some of the program's leaders didn't even know about them. There are now calls for the state legislative auditor to look into how the Brave contracts were awarded.
Another big story, parts of Florida soaked by Tropical Storm Emily. The system now a depression out into the Atlantic. Heavy rain across the Florida Peninsula, sparking power outages and flooding. Florida Governor Rick Scott has declared a state of emergency for 31 counties in response to the tropical system.
Well, no Emily here, but we've got Ashley and we've got Kylie.
So we're not disasters.
We're all,
come on.
We've got our own list.
Oh, thanks a lot, Jamie.
Not any named storm, which is good. I wouldn't want to be.
No. We'll just take the regular average August 1st day, 74 degrees.
I don't recall, Hurricane Kylie. I think there was an Ashley. I can't think off the top of my head.
It's all right.
Maybe it was just a little one.
It was a classic storm.
Yes.
JP, I want to look out for that one. Hopefully we won't see that one. Today, we won't see much rain at all. In fact, temperatures are pretty seasonal for this time of year. 73 in New Road, 74 in Baton Rouge. Much cooler as you head toward Hattiesburg. They're at 67 and 68 in Mobile, Alabama. Now, as we take a look at the dew points across the area, they are coming back up. Now, excessive humidity across the area thanks to that warm front starting to slowly move back toward the north. That's going to bring those winds from the south, and we're starting to see that humidity in yellow creep across the Bayou State first, and then eventually the rest of the Gulf Coast. Clouds across the area fairly minimal today. We're going to see a few more once we hit the afternoon, and the radar not picking up any rain at all today. Right now, and we're not going to see any by the afternoon. You can see the future cast as we move into the afternoon. A few clouds expected, but not expecting any rain across the area today. That does change tomorrow, though, but your hour-by-hour forecast showing a pretty dry day. Temperatures just getting up to 90 degrees. We still have a hair less humidity across the area, so that will allow our temperatures to stay around the 90 degrees. But overall, we're not going to, we're going to be hot and humid, even with that slight drop in humidity. And as you saw earlier, that humidity is starting to creep in across the Bayou State now, so it won't last forever. Here's a look at the weekend. A little bit more humid as we move into Saturday. Then by Sunday, we're going to look at a few showers as well. So it looks like the wettest day this week will be Thursday, but we'll still see a few isolated showers once we hit the weekend. Now, as far as traffic, let's get an update with Ashley.
Thank you, Robert. Well, right now, traffic looks great around the capital city. As I mentioned, it is a welcome change from yesterday morning where we're starting off with several problem spots. Right now, we just have one minor problem spot, and we're used to it. So it's the bridge traveling westbound, the LA1 exit ramp, just kind of getting choked up at this point over the Intercoastal Canal Bridge. But it's nothing excessive, just moments of slows and goes in that area. A wider shot shows us if you're traveling down LA1, the roadways really clear up in Addis. No problems Addis towards Plaquemine. Checking out the highways and byways over in Ascension. No problems on Highway 73 over in Dutchtown. Highway 30 in Gonzales looks good. And as you're traveling towards Geismar, no problems there this morning. Zooming in on that area as it meets 73, it remains all green. Let's go ahead and take a look outside at the LA1 area. And this is over the Intercoastal Canal Bridge. Just kind of some congestion this morning as you're traveling southbound. You could see that activity only on the southbound side. Northbound looks pretty good. All right, there's your traffic report. Let's toss you back to news with Kylie and JP.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. Darkness along a busy roadway in East Baton Rouge Parish has some residents concerned about their safety.
The lights along Plank Road in Brownsville have been out for more than 6 months. A community meeting was held last night to discuss the issue, but the problem, who's responsible for getting the lights back on. The state fixed a section of the road 8 months ago. Fred Rayford with the city's Transportation and Drainage Department told residents it's a legal battle between the state and the city and Entergy.
I don't know what all they were supposed to do, but I know they were supposed to at least turn the lights back on. They did a good job on the roads, but the lights, big safety hazard.
The problem was that apparently nobody notified either DPW or the city of Baton Rouge or Entergy about the problems with the light poles that are were in the way of the proposed improvement.
The city is looking to install temporary lights along this stretch of Plank Road until the matter is resolved. Happening today, hundreds of new laws now in effect in Louisiana. Public school students will now be allowed to bring sunscreen to school without a doctor's note. Cities and towns that use cameras to catch speeders will now have to post signs notifying drivers in order to use the images as evidence. And free parking will be required for disabled veterans at airports. You can read about more of the changes at WBRZ.com.
Looking ahead to 6 tonight, a community meeting hosted by Breck on the future of the zoo in Baton Rouge. That meeting is at the library in Central. Breck, of course, is hosting a series of meetings to get public input about possibly moving the zoo and upgrading Greenwood Park.
Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy is moving forward with his plan to replace the Affordable Care Act.
And in the Graham-Cassidy Amendment, we get power back to patients and states. So when you hear people screaming and yelling about the skinny bill was a process. It was not the end result. And we said that over and over again, but people refused to listen. That's okay. We're going to get there.
Cassidy posted that video to Twitter hours before he met with the Trump administration about his plan, drafted along with 2 other senators. His discussion was part of a White House effort to revive Obamacare repeal efforts which failed. First responders in St. George have a new weapon to fight the opioid epidemic. They're now carrying Narcan on 911 calls. That's a drug that can reverse the effects of an overdose. Officials say it can mean the difference between life and death.
When we come across a patient who's had too much, it could be oxycodone, it could be heroin, anything like that, we administer this drug out in the field before we transport and during transport to the emergency room. As I said, it works very quickly. You can see the effect of it almost immediately.
East Baton Rouge EMS says they have used Narcan more than 500 times this year.
Well, the feds are helping out in the fight against opioid addiction in Baton Rouge. The Department of Health and Hospitals gave a 3-year, $300,000 grant to Capital Area Human Services. That money will be used to target women and girls around the Baton Rouge area. Well, coming up at 2 continues the beginning of a new month, the beginning of the countdown of football season. And the Tigers put on the pads and hit the field.
Plus, there's a new 21 carrying the load for the Jags after backing up some pretty good running backs. He now gets his chance. The latest from Bluff also coming up. Right now it is 5:37, 74 degrees on this August 1st, Tuesday morning. Don't go anywhere.
Excessive humidity starting to creep back into the Bayou State. You can see dew points as high as 70 degrees in central Louisiana. Still in the upper 60s along I-20, 71 in New Orleans, 71 in Baton Rouge. When dew points are in the 70s, that's when it feels excessively humid. As we look into the future, though, we'll see those dew points really kind of jump up a bit. The Map's a little glitchy there, but you can see what it's trying to show you is that excessive humidity. Let's get off this map. Let's go ahead and go to 74 degrees right now across the capital city. Starting to see some light trickle into the atmosphere a little bit. 6:23 a.m. will be sunrise this morning. Winds are calm. Feels like 74 degrees, and as we move into the rest of the afternoon, shouldn't have to dodge any showers. If we see any rain across the state today, less than 10% of us will be lucky enough to see that, I guess. You can see temperatures just barely hitting 90 degrees. We'll see a few more clouds once we move into the afternoon, but overall, not a bad day. That brings us to a very high or almost extreme UV index of 11. That's in the purple. Air quality is moderate, and pollen is a low medium today, so overall not too bad. Stay connected with us on social media. You can follow me on Facebook, RG3WBRZ. Also, Hablo Espanol and American Sign Language for your forecast needs out there. Download the app if we have any kind of updating weather information, any watches or warnings across your area. The app will update you on that and does a lot more as well. Now, traffic update. Well, let's go ahead and get that from Ashley Ferrugia.
Thank you, Robert. Right now, traffic looks pretty good around town. No accidents, no breakdowns, a little congestion at the top of the bridge and on LA 1, but that is pretty normal for this time of morning. It should clear up soon. So the Nicholson Bridge, it's back open. This was closed off by around July 10th when they noticed the bridge was damaged. So right now there is a 10-ton weight limit. They reopened it way ahead of schedule, but they have that weight limit in effect, and the plan is to replace the bridge by early 2018. Let's go ahead and take a look outside now and check out Livingston. No problems. Jubin to Range, 2 minutes if you're traveling westbound, and at this time just a 10-minute drive coming in from Denham Springs. Checking out LA 1, as I mentioned, slowdowns are currently going on now from Port Allen into Addis, and you can see the ramp here is starting to clear up this morning traveling on I-10 westbound. We really didn't see any excessive delay. It was mostly isolated at the top of the bridge, and then again on southbound LA 1, northbound quiet and clear. In 10 minutes, we'll show you Ascension. For now, it's back to news.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. Of course, school bells will begin to ring early in the Baton Rouge area starting next Wednesday.
Yeah, but middle and high school students in California could get a chance to sleep in a little longer. Lawmakers are considering a bill to change the start of school time no earlier than 8:30. The bill's sponsor says 400 other school districts throughout the country have adopted a later start time, and they've seen improvements in grades and attendance.
And at the same time, car accidents, #1 killer of teens in America, car accidents significantly go down. Sports injuries significantly go down. Obesity goes down. Drug use goes down.
The bill has some opposition. The California School Boards Association says the later start time may not fit with parents' work schedules and could leave kids without a safe place to go in the morning before school starts.
Still in California, the city of Los Angeles has a little over a decade to plan one of the biggest athletic events in the world. Summer Olympics are coming back to the United States, and LA is on familiar ground. John Lawrence reports.
The Olympic torch will return to the City of Angels.
We're bringing the Games back to LA, one of the great capitals of this Olympic movement.
Los Angeles officials say they've inked a deal with the International Olympic Committee to host the 2028 Summer Olympics.
2 years ago, a crowd just like this came together, and we said the city of Los Angeles was going to compete. Well, compete we had.
The IOC issued a statement saying it'll give LA officials $1.8 billion as part of its agreement. Some of that money attached to the incentive program is earmarked to boost access to youth sports programs in the years prior to the Games.
I look forward to taking my children to the Games in LA in 2028. But even more than that, I look forward to the legacy those Games will give them and the children of this city far beyond 2028.
The Summer Games haven't been held in the United States since 1996, when Atlanta had the honor. Los Angeles has hosted the Summer Olympics twice before, in 1932 and 1984.
This city truly does sport like nowhere else.
President Trump issued a statement Monday night congratulating Los Angeles and saying he's confident the city will exemplify both the Olympic ideal and the American spirit. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Congratulations to them. Exciting.
Yeah, well, Los Angeles, they have some experience. They've had the Olympics there several times before. Well, coming up, we're taking you to LSU fall practice September 2nd. That's when the Tigers kick off the season against BYU.
It's crazy. It's 5:45. Don't go anywhere. 24 days. That's how long we have to wait until stadiums across the country fill up with college football fans.
I thought they were going to run over you. Look at these guys. They're coming right at us. Well, Coach O getting the Tigers fired up as they hit the field yesterday for the first day of fall camp, going for over 2 hours. Of course, the Tigers kick off the season September 2nd against BYU over in Houston.
Ooh.
And over on the Bluff, players are also putting in work, but there's a new 21 now that Southern's all-time leading rusher, Leonard Tillery, has taken his talents to the NFL.
But after playing back up to two big names in Baton Rouge, one at Southern, the other at LSU, Herb Edwards is ready to shine. Sports 2's Mike Gaither has his story.
Dedication, hard work, and more dedication.
Those are just a few reminders Southern running back Herb Edwards has learned from former teammates and current NFL players Leonard Fournette and Leonard Tillery. Edwards spent 2 seasons backing up the NFL's 4th overall pick while attending St. Augustine High School. And then on the Bluff, he spent the last 3 years behind Leonard Tillery, Southern's all-time leading rusher.
I saw the dedication Leonard put in. I saw the definite dedication that Till put in. And now it's just a reflection of what I got to do to get where I need to go to get a chance on the next level.
Now it's his turn, and Herb says it's something he's dreamed of for a very long time.
Since I was 4. The team responded to me well. It was just a great opportunity.
This offseason, Herb Edwards made a pretty unique transition. By now, you know the number 21 for Southern holds a special place in Jaguars history. But after a quick conversation with good friend Leonard Tillery, Edwards was convinced to change his number from 43 to 21, and for good reason.
I was the first person I called. You know, like I said, he said it's a competition. You know what I'm saying? He told me do more in it than what he did. Add on to his legacy through my name and add my name into the books next to his.
With only 54 career carries, Edwards constantly reminds himself to not take this opportunity for granted.
Oh, well, to keep myself humble, I tell myself every day that it's yours to lose.
Covering the Jags, Mike Gaither, WBRZ Sports 2.
Sun and clouds still fairly seasonable today, with really no showers expected in the forecast. But that nice front that brought us to slightly cooler, drier conditions, well, it's going to betray us. It's going to move back toward the north as a warm front, and that will bring us some changes. Higher humidity, which we're already starting to see now, and then higher rain chances through the end of the week. 74 degrees is the current temperature. Looking at a nice beginning of a sunrise. Sunrise is in about 20 minutes or about 30 minutes or so, actually, with relative humidity at 93%. We're going to see not much fog this morning, but we'll see some mostly clear skies to start off and a few clouds expected later. No rain currently across the state. You can see the futurecast as we move to this afternoon. Again, no rain expected across southeast Louisiana. That does change Wednesday, however. Could expect a few isolated showers and thunderstorms by tomorrow afternoon. Mainly Baton Rouge and areas south will see a few of these showers and thunderstorms. As we move into Thursday afternoon, however, that's when we're expecting more scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. 90 degrees will be the high today, partly cloudy again, remaining dry as far as rain is concerned. Wind shifting toward the east. Fairly light, about 5 miles per hour. Tonight down to 72, mostly clear, pretty seasonable for this time of year. East-northeast winds around 5 miles per hour. And then as you're moving to your 7-day forecast, you do see the chance of a few isolated showers Wednesday. Better chance of rain as we move into Thursday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms expected. And we'll keep some rain with us Friday into Saturday as well. Trickling down or tapering down a bit as we move into Sunday and Monday, but still a few isolated showers in the forecast. Notice, too, how we've just barely hit 90 degrees today and tomorrow. And with the additional rain coverage, will likely stay out of the 90s because of that, but the humidity does come up, and as a result, the low temperature is getting into the mid-70s. So while we'll stay out of the 90s, that humidity will still be in full play here across southeast Louisiana. And still, only about 51 degrees left until the first day of fall. But until then, maybe some good news with traffic. Let's go ahead and take a look with Ashley.
I do have good news, Robert. All morning long, we've had some slowdowns on the bridge. It wasn't anything excessive, but we did see that westbound on the bridge, and then, of course, LA1 southbound. Now it's back to green, so we're looking good here. A normal flow of traffic, normal drive times, just 2 to 3 minutes crossing over the river at this time. Let's go ahead and take a look outside and just confirm that nothing new has popped up since a couple seconds ago, which it can pop up very fast. We're seeing no major problems at the LA1 exit ramp. Sky looking pretty, of course. course, as that sunrise approaches. So that's a nice view there. No problems coming in from Prairieville. We have not seen any issues around Highway 73 this morning. And now check this out. Much improved situation over the Intercoastal, especially southbound. This morning we saw a lot of tail lights bumping, and right now you can see looking pretty good as you're traveling across the Intercoastal Canal Bridge. So overall, we have a nice quiet drive around town, so continue to drive safely. Back to you.
Thanks, Ashley. Boy Scouts in St. Tammany Parish are collecting old American flags.
Yeah, 2 flag retirement boxes have been set up for people to drop off their torn and tattered flags. The Scouts then collect and properly dispose of them. The veterans behind the effort say the flags are properly folded, burned, while saluted, then buried.
And we need more people who appreciate the freedom that we have and the lifestyle that we have. And I'm really keen on anything I can do to help our country.
The boxes were built by jail trustees.
Great idea. So to come, our second hour of Tune In with more news, weather, and traffic.
But first, it's time to honor America and salute the flag with the Daily Pledge. And to lead us this morning, some patriotic campers from Gretchen Love's group from Parkview Baptist Eagle Experience Summer Camp.
WBRZ News 2 and the Baton Rouge Clinic are proud to bring you the Daily Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Join us weekday mornings on Channel 2 for another local group's reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance.